We in here, Mr. Shinobi. You hear me?
Yo, what's up?
What's going on? What's going on? So, hello, Mr. Shinobi and fellow Brick Nation, Bricketeers is what I like to call them. And what I want to do in this very special recording is a breakdown of all the tools in which I have developed for you guys and for me, of course. So what I wanted to do was go step by step with someone who hasn't seen it themselves or used it quite so much and be as detailed as I best can be in helping you become a profitable trader. So, without further ado, Mr. Mr. Shinobi, you can see my screen?
Yes, sir. We're good.
Okay, okay. So what you have here is we got a particular trade or a chart, GCAT. And right now it's BNT as one of my fellow traders, Mr. Smart Money himself, likes to call it. But I am a person who likes to use tools. Indicators, of course, just want to let you know, are lagging. But you know our motto, I don't got to be first, I got to be right. So this is formulas in which we've developed over countless back testing and permutations that go into play. So one of the tools I guess we'll start off first and foremost is with Mr. Brick Nation, Brick 'em Up. So here we'll go to inputs and you'll see, we'll turn this all off one by one. You'll see that we have several options in which you can choose from. The first one is display Brick Nation Wave. So when I turn this on, what it is retrospect EMAs, because that's what I use, but they're relatively static. There are particular time frames that I am fond of these certain EMAs, and they make me follow a strict wave, so to speak. So once I turn this on, and you will see once I hit OK and Shazam. So as you can see, because it's static, the EMAs get kind of a crinkle in retrospect. And some of them are smooth because it is in relationship towards that corresponding time frame. As you go lower, if you take a look, they may get more crinkly. Now, I believe if you go to the smallest time frame, you actually will see the most rigidness of crinkles. I guess that's what I like to call it, right? Crinkles, that's a good term. But I preferably like to stay within the 5, 15, and the 30 minutes. Those are usually my time frames, unless I'm trying to be a longer term trader. But this basically sets the standards of the wave in which we're trying to ride. And overall, it allows me to be a scalper or intraday or overall position type trader. You know, when you choose a wrong trade, the next thing you're like, oh, well, guess I'm holding. That's one of the situations we have here. Now, I do allow individuals for this first segment to go right here and actually change it to the color preference of their choice. As you could see, if I uncheck LTF, which is lower time frame, boom, you could change it up. Now, I like blue because that's what I like to look at when I'm trading, and I need my profits in blue. But if you wanted the green, boom, you have it right there. Same thing could work with the intraday type of setup. Same, you could set it up to whatever color preference you wanted, and as well as the higher time frame and the holding position. So these time frames, you're allowed to change it to whatever color dynamic you want. And that is the first display in which I wanted to showcase off of you. Now, I'm called Mr. Bricks for a reason. And that's the reason why you have the second one, which is called Display Mr. Brick Nation's Renkos. So, in addition towards trading with regular candles, I prefer to actually use the Renkos. What Renkos is basically candles, but compressed into, I guess you could say, building blocks. And we build it in terms of like Legos or bricks, like a house. So this 15-minute time frame, when I go to Renkos right here, boom, you see how the dynamic of the chart changes kind of looks a little bit more, I guess you'd say childish, but the visualization of the trend becomes a whole lot easier for you. And with that, if we go back to using this display, uh, it's kind of ugly. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's not preferred. But what we have done is, respectively, the same type of thing. So now you have the EMAs that flow a whole lot better in regards towards it. And the same thing applies. With these EMAs, you could change the colors, but you see how if we're on a downtrend, the EMAs are red. If it switches to where you have a break of structure, or hey, we're going against the overall move, the color changes to green. Now, of course, I have these two time frames here that will, or these two EMAs here that are a basics of, hey, what's the overall movement? Now, the 15-minute, of course, being a higher time frame, I believe we're going to say that's the hour. When we go to the 5-minute, that's actually the 15-minute. And we'll go into that deeper discussion in another topic, but it's just to show you, look how smooth and clear that this is. And if you're really a good type of trader and you could just follow the wave or ride the wave, you could see almost every time you see that green, get prepared. As long as this is, you respect the royal, that's why I have the crown, of course, the royal crown. As long as you respect the royal, you should be prepared to potentially continue to ride in that overall direction. So that green is almost like a, hey, I'm getting ready to enter, all the way until I broke it. And then now we shift. So hopefully you start to get a little visual dynamics of how I use these EMAs in Confluence. Now, that's not to say if you go back to candles, you could still use this. Still works rather well in relationship towards it. Respecting the wave, riding the color, in all. Perfectly fine. And that's why I made sure both of them are available to you. And you're just basically choosing, who am I? Right? Which one looks more appealing to you? Options fully there. And that also, of course, color changes as much as you want right then and there. So before I begin, since this is my partner in Piss, Mr. Shinobi, looking at this for the first time, any questions? You got it so far? Or did I miss anything out?
Nah, it's clean. And no, it's clean. Like you were saying, it's my even though we we're partners and stuff, what we do is very similar, but there is differences in the methodology. So it's cool seeing from a little bit different perspective. Because I'm seeing stuff and I'm like, yeah, okay, I can see that, but it is slightly different. So that's dope.
Wow, awesome, awesome, awesome. Now I will say it is preferred that you choose one or the other. Putting it both in there, you get a little lost in the sauce potentially. So find your favorite and choose which one works best for you. Now, for those who have rocked with us before, you should know what this is. It's basically Crown BWSW, which stands for Royal Buy Wave, Royal Sell Wave. And the reason why we have this here, mind you, this is very much updated. This is taking several EMAs in regards to multiple time frames. And what it does is it says, hey, if this permutation plays out, here's a potential entry that is royal. It's royal because what? The EMAs are in sync in relationship towards it. So what we usually do in regards to this, look at this, tells you the story. Actually, I think the up one's beautiful right here, right? Ooh, look at that. Once the rules are met, it'll display a royal buy wave and royal sell wave. What I do want to let you know is we do have another level of confluence that we do, but I'm giving you a peep by peep demonstration. So with here, for example, you see this royal buy wave because the rules were met. Now, of course, in any market, if you're dealing with consolidation, you're going to get caught up in a whirlwind, let's say a hurricane of such. We are Florida individuals, so you will get caught in that. But once it's figured out a clear direction, all I got to tell you is ride the wave until your satisfaction. And when the market switches, boom, you have a chance to potentially exit or verify if that royal buy wave or sell wave is valid. Now, we already had these alerts set for you. So once you get these alerts by joining our Discord, all you're doing is getting the extra confluence, talking to your fellow bricketeers if you agree, and going ahead and tagging right in these type of trades. And you could go ahead and look where you could take small positions and hold. You could do it to an intraday, or you could become a position trader. It all depends on what type of person you are and what type of trades that you're trying to get out of this. So this right here, of course, is the Royal buy wave and the royal sell wave. Got it? Calm, cool, collected? All right, great.
Yeah, that's clean.
So we're gonna move to the next one. These are my new babies, I like to call them. So the next one, I'll turn this off. Boop, and we'll go into BSU, BSD. Now you're like, what is this? And I like to talk to myself because who else can I trust? So BSU stands for bricks shoot up or bricks shoot down. And the reason why is because this more so is kind of, I like to say, intraday type scalping trades. If you look in cohesive list, when I had the royal sell wave, let's say I'm sleeping. I missed that initial trade. And I'm like, oh, I'm trapped. Where else can I get it in? Well, this is what this does. It's a smaller time frame EMAs that are coming into play and showing you potential re-entries pertaining towards that market. Now, that doesn't mean tag all of them. Of course, the way that we work is once one trade is in profit, stop loss in profit, boom. If you want to see another entry, keep on going. Whatever works best for you. But what it does is the same type of sequence, you could say it's intra entries pertaining towards the royal sell wave. So you don't have to worry about, oh, I can't believe I missed the major one. Yes, but there's always another opportunity. Why? Because the market is fractal. Now, once again, the way I like to think of this is the royal buy wave and the royal sell waves are almost intra swing type trades, while the shoot up are intermediate. You could basically scalp or intraday these type of trades. So this is what I want to make sure you're aware of when you're looking at these type of entries. So this was a pretty one, but I know for demo purposes, it's only right? He's like, oh, he's only showing us the pretty ones, nothing ugly per se. So to be fair, I will go to my partner in pips and I'll say, why don't you tell me a pair that you want me to look at, just so we're not lying to the people per se.
All right. So I got to pick a hard one or just pick anything or what am I
Okay,
doing?
whatever, whichever you want. I mean, that's the world we live in.
Ah, all right. Let's pick something that a lot of people like. Look at gold.
Gold. Oh, gold.
Because people gonna say gold. That's one of the first things everyone want to jump on.
Well, there you go. Here's your gold right here. So once again, the way it works, remember, there's levels to this. There's additional confirmations that we go for. But look, just like I displayed, you might have missed the first one. And yes, not until the rules arrive will the second, third, and the additionals come in. Now, what you do have to make sure that you do, if you're one of those traders that, oh, it's in a supply demand, or if it's in a liquidity zone, I just like to call it price action reaction. But there's an additional tool which we'll go ahead and we'll add on that shows you that basically like, might not be a good time to leave. And actually, it's a great time to talk about it. We're on gold. So the next one that I like is BOS-CU/CD, which is confirm up, confirm down. I don't know about you, but I don't want to be in no trades where I'm 100 pips up and I got to give 30 back. Shoot, even 20 back. Those don't work for me. So I would like to be alerted when, based upon these EMAs, when we have a break of structure. So turning this on is allowing you to see, hey, you might want to leave. Or is this a fake leave and another re-entry? Either way, these are the alerts in which we provide via our Discord to give you a heads up, right? Just in case they're not in front of the charts or, if you're trading mobilely. So once I put this on, I believe right here, I better see that. Bam. Oh, look at that. I love it. It's beautiful. So now these are almost a micro version of the bricks shoot down and the royal cell wave. Once again, consolidation, we have to go for other levels of confluence. But look at this. Imagine getting a break of structure confirmed down. Like, oh, okay, be patient because we don't know if it's fake. Now you have the royal cell wave. Let's say you throw in a smaller lot just to test the waters per se. Stop loss above the highs, whichever one that you choose, because for each zone, some people don't want to be, staring at the charts. But you decide to enter maybe a bigger lot on a brick shoot down. All the way here. Bam. Break of structure confirm up. Something has changed. You know what? I don't know about you, but I'm happy with my reward. For the duration in which I've could have held it for, awesome trade. Now it does, like I said, one of the things you have to remember in terms of the market, when it's Asian range, or if it's London, push up to push down or push down to push up, you might get caught in a level of like, oh, it got me. So I like to think of it like, hey, first and foremost, structurally, what we like to occur is have a break of structure confirm in whatever direction. Then we usually follow it by a royal cell wave. And then what you would get is a brick shoot down or a brick shoot up. So that's how we usually apply these type of rules. Now,
So I got a question then.
sure.
So when that happens in that order, right, succession, are you hitting the market with with each level, or are you waiting until all three confirm and then you'll hit the market?
Well, that depends on how risky are you, right?
Okay.
Well, I like to say it like this. There is a sequence in which I like to follow. No matter what, I don't want to hit a royal, I don't want to hit a sell unless I've confirmed that I have a break of structure down, because that should have occurred first. The same way if you look at, let's see this, what took place earlier. Well, let's put the sessions on, right? Session breaks. Boom. So even though you are very risky entering this break of structure up, because it could just be a pull up, test the royal, and continue down. But
Hmm.
once we have that break of structure confirmed up, now we say, well, do I want to just throw in a pebble and put the stop loss above the lows? Might be the smallest lot, but hey, is it right or is it wrong? Because you know what? I could risk a 0.01 if potentially it could go and I could go ahead and throw a dollar lot, a $10 lot, whatever the case may be, depending upon your account size. Please practice proper risk management. Don't put that on me. That's on you.
Disclaimer.
But disclaimer, right? But as soon as that has happened, I know, okay, now it's time to look for these other trades or these other entries, which are more safer. I could easily say, hey, the brick shoot up usually happens after,
Hmm.
and then a royal buy wave. But the royal buy wave is safer. Why? As you can see, it's left and it's now above the royal, is what we like to call it. Now I know after this, there should be fractional entries, aka brick shoot up, brick shoot up, brick shoot up, and brick shoot up. That's how I usually like to apply these trades. If I miss one, as long as I see this big bad boy here, these two, I know the other entries are safer to take as
Gotcha.
compared to just this one right here.
Gotcha. That first one is kind of testing the waters. You're just trying to see, like you said, throw a pebble, throw a smaller lot, maybe, and to see, hey, is that beginning the move? But then
Correct.
you have your BSU come in and you coming right up against the Royal. So you're like, okay, let's go ahead and look at that. But when you have the Royal buy come in, now you know you're actually starting to move. So
Correct.
then
Correct.
all
Correct.
the ones that come after the Royal buy, that's just stacking on the trade and adding to it because you're in the wave now. So you're just jumping on that and continuing on.
Correct. And it is until it isn't. Right. So that's one of the things that which we apply until these EMAs tell you differently and they switch or the color changes. Because remember, you could dictate the color, then you're good to go in regards to that. So that kind of explains the break of structure confirm up, confirm down, the brick shoot up, the brick shoot down. Now, the next thing I want to let you know, just to talk about it, is you could add multiple of these at the same time, because I let you choose if you want a box or an arrow. Some people just don't like seeing those squares all up on their screen. Me, listen, I can't close my eyes. I like, oh, is that a line or not? But hey, it might be clearer for you, and we allow for you to do that option. It's awesome, perfectly readable to you. You could probably add two or three of the Brick Nation's Brick 'em Up indicator, and then choose which one you want to have a box and which one you don't. Right? Actually, that's a good option. Let's put that into speaking. Right? Let's say I'll let that be a box and that here, Brick 'em Up. Boom. Now look at that. This is the wrong one. New entry's working. Hold up. Brick my scripts. Break them up. Boom. There we go. So let's say right here, we want to go ahead and use an arrow. We'll turn that off. And then now, let's say you want to go ahead for break shoot up. Let's say you want purple, right? Let's say you want that they both to be purple. So there you go. Right then and there, you have the main, and now you know if you look at those little lines, there's your purple for the bricks to shoot up. So it's really customizable to whatever visually works best for you. But one thing I did want to show next, in addition towards choosing the colors, is basically I kind of added it on right there and there, is the display bar color change. So what this is basically depending upon the EMA of your choice, we leave it default at 50 for that respective time frame. It basically allows you to stay within that trade until price has crossed below it. And this is why it's important. And I think Shinobi knows this story. There is a lady trader in which where whenever she enters a trade in the direction in which she believes our alerts provide, as soon as she sees a candle that's basically the opposite, or the opposite of the direction in which she's going, she closes it abruptly early, missing out on the big move per se. So having this display bar color change, and let's say keeping it at 50, allows you to stay in that trade longer, because right up here allows you to select the colors you want to see. So, hey, I could say, you know what? Green, green, red, red. So now imagine you got this alert. Brick shoot up. You can now say, I'm staying here until the color changes or until you break the EMA Royal. But imagine if you'd done that since right here. So now you could hold on a whole lot longer than you want to. Let's say like, oh, 50 was too little for me. You know what? I want to go something higher. Let's say, you know what? 200. Well, guess what? With that, 1, 2, 3. Now you're holding on to the trades a whole lot longer. You see how I pull back down here? See how it's testing the EMA and then continued to shoot on up. So you could hold your trades a whole lot longer. And here's another awesome thing about it. Remember, we have the break of structure confirm up. Where do you see the down at? Nowhere. So you could have kept holding it on until the next break of structure confirmed down. So you could hold on trades a whole lot longer, reaping the benefits of the alerts that come to you. You good so far?
No,
Dochi?
that's clean. That's clean.
Yep, yep. So now the other thing that comes into play, right? One of the things in which where, what type of trader are you? Do you like to trade intraday, or are you Asian session, London or New York? Well, you know what? We allow you to do that for your own time. You could set up your own alerts based upon the basic vertical line that we've instilled here. So, for example, me, I know for sure 15 all the way to 1 o'clock, which is basically New York has left, the market changes are occurring, and now London's now in play. Right before London comes in, so Asian usually ends at 2 o'clock. So I'll go maybe if I wake up an hour before, I know like, hey, don't trade this time. But you might be a person and say, hey, I want to trade actually from the time frame of, let's just say, what? I think I'll choose London, right? 2 o'clock all the way up to 11. Bam, there's your trading window. So now you know those are the times in which you feel comfortable hitting trades. Does an alert occur at these times and basically that you could enter or not? It gives you a visualization of when it's time for you as a trader to leave when you want to. And you're allowed actually to do this 2 times. As you can see, I have another one that's set up right here, which is displayed. And basically, boop, the yellow, right? You might have one of those, you might be one of those things like I could trade aggressively, within the first 2 hours or 3 hours here, pertaining towards these type of entries. Other than that, hey, it might be time to go. I don't want to stay that long, or take some of the profits and let some of it ride. So once again, all of these colors are available to you to change however you so see fit, as well as whatever trading time that you want to establish for yourself to work. You're allowed to have the alerts displayed as an arrow or a box. You're allowed to choose an EMA of your choice in which where you want the colors to stay consistently at that color so you can stay on the trade longer. The breakout structure confirm up or down, giving you potential opportunities to leave before the market switches up on you or potentially re-enter if you feel that it is justified. The bricks shoot up in terms of a micro type entry pertaining towards the royal buy wave and the royal sell wave. Now, once again, within here, you could say, hey, I only like to trade using doop, 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 doop. Oh, I had the other one on still too. I was like, why? I only like using these type of EMAs, lower time frame and intraday. Hey, have at it. We allow you to customize it that works best for you. Now, these alerts are not customizable, aka you can't go here and try and set up an alert at your own time frame. Those only come through via the Discord that we set that I feel works best for you. Because trust me, there are some people, oh, I'll go and make a 3-minute alert. Well, what happened? Well, if you go lower in time frame, you actually might get caught up in the wave and not see the overall direction. So these are preset in terms of our formulas to help you stay the course, ride the wave. So with that, I'll ask my partner in Pips if he had any questions that I could answer before going to the next one.
No, that's pretty clean and simple, bro.
We try to do what we try to do over here at Brick Nation. You know, I'm not a smart money trader. I respect all smart money, but here I just like to ride the wave until the wave is done. Almost like surfing, right? We treat it the same way. So that right there, my friends, is Brick 'em Up version 1.0. Updates are always happening because I don't like to lose. Just let you know. The next one, my baby. Actually, I'll put these back on. Let me go ahead and put the default, reset, boom. There we go. Clean, clean. Next one is called market dynamics. Now, why do I call that that? Well, once again, I'm using permutations on a variety of time frames to make sure we have a winning probability trade. So within here, see these acronyms? I always operate in acronyms, and I'm always talking to myself. So I'll give you a brief of the name, which is show MU MD, which is move up, move down, SUSD. It's almost like the bricks shoot up, but it's called shoot up or sell up or sell down in regards to it. And then now we have this triple B, which is brick boss buys and brick boss sells. So once I turn this on, we'll actually go up one at a time. We'll actually make this work. But the market momentum move up, that I like to call it, is using a very special tool of mine. So I was keeping it here from Brick Nation, double tap, boom. It's basically our Brick Nation version of a MACD. And this MACD right here, almost like I said with the EMAs, is using both the MACD itself, moving average convergence divergence, but as well as EMA permutations within it. So when I go ahead and I go here and I'll turn on, boop, I'll actually make this color, let's make it red. No. This color looks special. I like that. Boom, boom, boom. Now, momentum up. As you can see, it almost falls in line with the royal buy wave. The reason why, the royal buy wave was just EMAs by itself, while the momentum up is taking not only that, but also the MACD. It's checking against, I like to say, the highest of time frames all the way down to, I'll say, the 5-minute time frame. because that's where I usually like to start off the wave in regards to it, giving me direction of where the market is going based upon the MACD. Now, once again, I don't want to cheat, so I'll let my partner in pips decide what pair he wants me to put this on, because I could always, like, you chose gold and it looked pretty, but let's see if we get another one.
All right. Let's see here. We'll use one of the JPY. That's some stuff we like. So let's do we'll do in the middle, CAD JPY.
Wasn't there news on CAD JPY?
It
Let's
was?
see. Look at that. Ugh, horrible. But that's fair. So this is actually a great example. And right here. So is that brick map still on? Yes. Okay, good. So as you can see here, when it comes to this MU that applied, we have here on the 15 that the MACD is on the uptrend or above the zero line. But it's also occurring on the lower time frame, such as the 5 to as high as the 1 hour. And from here, it allows you to ride the wave continuously until there is a shift. So once again, that shift comes with the break of structure confirmed down. Now remember, like we said prior, break of structure confirmed down, then you'll most likely get a what? You'll get a royal cell wave to come. What we hope is that you are not in a level of consolidation. We haven't reached there yet, but we're getting close to it. So what this does is give you like, hey, you have a potential of holding this trade for quite a while if you can handle the wave. So here, boom, perfect example. You see how the shift occurred, almost like another definite entry, because you see the royal cell wave, then you had the brick shoot down, boom, momentum down. So then from there on, once again, I love this break of structure confirm, because you could say, hey, I don't want to give none of this back, and you're able to eat off that wave. And it occurs both to the downside as well as the upside. Now, because it uses multiple time frames and the MACD, you could see yourself, oh, wait, you could see yourself holding on to this trade for quite a while, as long as, once again, confirm up, confirm down. If there's money, if the market is moving, you're on the winning side. So what I'll do here, actually, I'll turn this on. Well, I'll turn this off just so we can see a little bit better. Bam. Focus on the start hand, right? There we go. So here's an example. Boom. Yummy. Boom. I mean, it hasn't, I'll put it like this. You could leave at break of structure confirmed down, or you could leave whenever you're satisfied from it. But certain trades, look at this. Look, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And you could sometimes, more often than not, see where to put your stop loss at. Now, this is something in which where you kind of hold anywhere between 2 to 3 days. Might be all week that you could hold this trade. Because if you got in here, who told you to leave? Unless you didn't want to give anything back. And I can't blame you. But look how it tested our static EMA, kept on pushing. But you could have left with that break of structure confirmed down and re-entered once the next alert came up. Because I could assure you, I know my alerts. So let's go turn this off. Bam, bam. Oh, why is it so nice? So look at this right here. Beautiful example. Break of structure confirmed up. Then you have that momentum up. Yum, 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 yum. Confirmed down. You know what? I'm not giving none of that back. All right. I'll wait. And this is a perfect example because you see, you had the break of structure confirmed down, tested the royal, and then next thing you know, like I said, it's either an early advisor to leave or a potential, hey, we might actually continue forward as long as we're respecting these EMAs. And look, break of structure confirmed up. Here's the alert of the MU. Keep going. Another eatery. And then boom, down, another eatery. So it's basically a longer holding type trade, but definitely letting you know that there's a lot of movement to that overall direction. So turn that back off. Next in line. Shoot up, shoot down. In here, you'll see it's almost the exact same thing as compared to what was displayed on the Brick 'em Up. I try to provide you as many opportunities, like the brick shoot up, brick shoot down, to get into the trade, depending upon your style. What you have to take into account is the time of day that we're in. Hey, I like to trade during London and New York. By 11 o'clock, I'm done. If there's not enough movement in there, it's not good to potentially take the trade. So, for example, look at this alert right here. Look at the time that this happens. Not really fancy, plus the market's really not moving. As well, look at the MACD just sitting there playing at the zero could potentially hurt your feelings. And I don't want to get hurt. But in these certain type of trades, when you have this, look at this from a scalper's perspective. Let's just switch time frames to the 5. Did I lose my space? Haha. I did lose my space. Let's go back. Let's put a line. Let's be fair. Where was I? Was I here? I think I was here. Boop, 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 boop. Should just do like you, Shinobi, and just do this. Bang.
Yeah, I was about to say,
I
just
know.
cut it over.
Just cut it over, right? So once again, you have this. This dash represents letting you know it's a new day start. So here's the Asian, then comes London, and boop, shoot up. Now, what's cool is what I've done to the MACD is basically this MACD. The reason why you like, hey, why am I seeing this blue? We'll get to it, but it lets you know there's confluence in that overall direction. So, hey, colors in my way. New York is here. Why not just go ahead and take that trade? Stop loss very dependent upon you. Want to be risque, have it down here? Hey, good for you. I'm a bit more safe, maybe here, maybe there if I don't want to stare. But with that, I would just basically let the market and let the trade do what it do. And with that, I could go ahead and cash out when it's my time of day to cash out. I could put my stop loss in profit, or I could say, hey, until that MACD has a cross on the negative side, look at that. Boop, I'm gonna go ahead and leave. Or I could put my stop loss in profit, whatever varies depending upon you. And what's cool about that is it really allows you to become any type of trader, scalping, intraday, or position. I think the market offers you plenty full of opportunities each day, and these alerts give those opportunities presented to you. No one's now. You don't have to be a scalper or a position trader to use these, but one thing we do have to do is make sure we're in the right side of the trade. So, like looking at CAD JPY, it's actually a great example. Such high levels of consolidation here. And we'll talk about how we can avoid that using a tool, using tools in which we provide, as well as a layout that we like to go and use religiously. So I think the next one is Brick Boss buys, Brick Boss sells. So I'll choose a pair this time. Let's go. Were we on GCAD? I like GCAD.
No, no, we
No?
had CAD, we had gold.
Oh, we had
Yeah,
CAD. So GCAD. Bam. Look at this. Interesting, interesting. So the reason why this to me is the most risque type. These are devoted for the scalpers, I should say. And the reason why is because this provides plentiful of opportunities to get in there. So, and as well as get potentially faked out. So this is operating off the smallest of time frames, and I think I'll work left to right. So right here, almost like the brick shoot down, it's even more of a potential greater entry, but it also provides you a situation where you might have to deal with some pullback. And that's why these EMAs are so important, making sure that they're respected, making sure you're not trying to be hasty or out of line. So you see how there's multiple smaller entries that you can get in there. And this is why I say it's more so of a scalper type of of alert that you can use to your benefit, operating in smaller time frames. If, hey, I really don't, oh, you know what? Silly me. I forgot. I actually like this. Mr. Shinobi, how many times do people go in such a small time frame that they lose sight of the bigger picture?
Happens all the time, man.
Awesome, all the time, right? So remember what time frames I said I used to like to use the most?
Was it 5:15?
5, 15, 30 hour. Usually my favorites.
30 minute,
And
yeah.
yeah, those are my babies. This one is where I just want to set it and forget it and not even look. So what we've coded in here is kind of to stop someone from being their own worst enemy. So you can't see any of these alerts, only starting from the 5. So there's your version of being a scalper. And I know you might hate that, but I'm doing it to keep you in the game longer, to help you see the vision. Because when you're so zoomed in, you might go ahead and because you're using, let's say, boop, 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 because you're using the rainbow, let's turn this off. You might go ahead in the 1 minute because you can still use the EMAs. You might be so zoomed in trying to be first that, oh, look at that. It's reversing. It's a break of structure. And then you enter thinking that, oh, it's going to continue forward. Get a little bit of pips and you're like, oh, it's gone. I'm so smart. And then now you're looking like, come on, breakthrough, breakthrough. Yes, let me add hurting, 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 hurting. So with that, the alerts or the indicators don't display only until you're in a proper time frame. And the bare minimum is the 5. So with that being said, I know you might hate me now, but it's okay. But it's important because I want you to win. Because when you win, we win. So here at Brick Nation, if you look, so it's such a how should I say a microscope entry. It can be great for you. Boom, catch it and look. You beat the shoot up, and now you're just riding the wave over and over. Another potential entry. Now that doesn't mean tag it, and this is where the MACD comes into play because you got this alert. But look what happens next. And we'll talk about it once I'm done. Got that red dot. Red dot basically means sellers are in the market. Now, not to say that you're wrong, because the EMAs are still going in the overall direction of up, but you might have to deal with some pullback. So going for this stop loss right here could get you hurt. And also, look at the time of day. The day's about to be done. So why are you even looking at it? So once again, these type of alerts, the Brick Boss buys and the Brick Boss sells, are more so scalping. You have to be aware of where you are. You have to be aware of the MACD and when it might be time to enter or leave. Some of these trades, beautiful. Hold it, and you look like a genius. But then there are some of these trades because you're greedy and you want to be first or your time of day, you enter and now you're just hoping, oh, it'll continue on as I sleep, only to wake up crying, 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 crying. But look at this. See, beautiful. Kiss. Beautiful entry. So that is the dynamics of the market in which we present at Brick Nation. Now, Mr. Shinobi, any questions of the 3?
Nah, that's real clear and simple, bro.
I try to be. The last, the Brick Nation MACD. So the thing that's so important about using this that I like is that we use it in confluence with our EMAs. So basically, if I go right here, let's go back to buy wave, sell wave, break down, boop, and using this tool, GA? Yeah, sure, GA. Look at that. Boom. Look at these alerts. See how it all dances. Now, I don't have my timer on because this could have gotten saved. Boop. There we go. Save me. Thank you. See, I don't like to trade. Asian and the end of the day. Keeps me good. But what I do here is, let's say you get a royal buy wave. One of the things we want to do is we want to make sure that the MACD is above the 0 line, right? Having that there gives the visual representation of when buyers or when sellers are in the market. So when I double click this, I make it perfectly clear. Blue, buy, red, sell. So you could also choose if you want to use a signal or a MACD or none, your preference. I prefer the signal. Basically, this allows you to change the color if you want it or not. Look, see all red. You get to choose if you want it. This is if you wanted to show again the histogram colors. So if I put back to this, bam, now they're all gray. If I hit the button, get the colors. Now this last one is actually what's dealing with the shade. This is basically taking the MACD on multiple time frames and making sure not only are they in confluence, but they're also in confluence with our EMAs crossing. So if you look at it, if I go to the 30, let's go with that. And then let's go ahead and switch to my baby, which is the signal. Bam. So what's awesome is, I think Shinobi will teach this on his lesson of dot to dot. So here we're able to get an alert pertaining towards all these permutations. But here, when the MACD crosses up and we have the bricks EMAs crossing. So now you know, hey, come on now. These odds are in my favor. Not only do I have the EMA cross, but the MACD is up not only in this time frame, but also the lower time frames. And what's cool, when sellers step in, oh, you leave me alone. I don't want to touch this trade. Oh, but when you come back, let me know. Thanks for the dot. Thanks for the EMA cross. And I could ride it until it switches up. Because if you look, we do this line right here. See what took place. We go down. Up, sellers are in. Go to a 5 minute. See, right up a little bit early. Boop, right here, you went below. Guess what? Now I could potentially deal with you reversing, or I could get caught up in some consolidation. Well, guess what? I enjoy that miniature wave. Thank you very much. And of course, more to come. Boom, 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 boom. Just lovely. So I'm a visualist when I trade. So the things that are more often in whatever color that I want, like I said, you can make this all green if you want to match the waves, or you could make it all, where's my thing at? Let's say, like I said, I like blue. Should have made this all blue, right? Boop, blue, blue. I got the time today. Blue, blue, right? Come on now. Respect the colors. Here you are trying to sell when the colors clearly tell you blue. Now, once it changes, time to go. And like I said, you could go off of the alerts of the breaker structure offered at the Discord or here. So we allow you to set alerts on the MACD because I don't know what type of exit trader you are, right? You might go based upon how much money you make, or you might go based upon dot to dot, MACD crossing below or above, or the histogram above or below being present. We also have it to where permutations might happen. So for example, if the MACD is going up and a red dot shows up, I don't want to leave, or it might be time to go. And vice versa pertaining towards a downtrend. It just alerts you. We give you the capability of having that freedom in relationship towards this trade. But what we tend to do always is add these two together. Now, the last thing I want to say is customize this to what works best for you. You might say, listen, all these is too much for me. That's perfectly fine. And then with the smart money, oh no, it's crazy. So here you could go ahead and say, look, I don't want to do this. I don't know nothing about no order blocks, but I know what a breaker structure means. And you know what? I like these, but what I really like more is the shoot up, shoot down. So then now it cleans up the chart. You might say, well, guess what? Big shoot up, big shoot down don't work best for me. I only want to operate off royal buy waves, shoot up, shoot down. And this is my only time. So you really get to go ahead and customize it to your preference. Even with our Discord, we have well over 400 alerts. You could just focus purely on JPY alerts. by turning everything off and using it best for you. So really, the market is at your needs, your discretion, your choice of what type of trader you want to be and how you want to specialize yourself on it. So before I continue, Mr. Shinobi, anything else you have wanted to add or inquire about?
And that is clean. I guess you were talking about the alerts that come on through the Discord. So how does that work? How would a person comes on, they're on the Discord, what happens? They get the alert, they check the chart, or what do they do?
Okay, so that's a perfect example. That's what leads to this. So one of the things in which we provide is basically called a currency map. Now, this is just going off of EMAs crossing, right? So the EMAs that might have crossed, yes, I got this royal buy wave, but how do we know that GDP AUD is bound to shoot up? And what we operate off of is the currency map. So here, for example, I have another layout in which I've broken down. Now, I know most people don't have the highest of TradingView, but I wanted to make sure I break it down to where someone has it. So here, these are the same alerts, but using the permutations that we offer at Brick Nation. So you could just basically, as you can see, we have it right here, colored orange. This is the permutations that shows you the average and the overall direction of that currency, not the currency pair, but the currency. So we are talking about GDP. Well, once again, I have to break them up, the market dynamics, and the Brick Nation MACD. I'll go ahead the next screen because, of course, I split it in two. Look, they have up to 16. That's crazy. But split it in two. And now we're concerned about AUD. So go here to the next letter, AUD. Now, I'm a very simple man, just like I teach everybody. What I like to do is basically say, hey, what's going up? What's going down? With regards to this trade right here, at the time, well, what time did this happen? Doop, 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 doop. That was on the 11th. So where is the 11th? This is 12th. Is this the 11th? Ah, the 11th. And then now, ooh, look at this. Oh, here's the 12th or the 11th. 11th, the 11th. What time this happened? At 5 o'clock. So let's see what was going on at 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock. Bam. And this one. Bam. I tell people all the time, when we're trading, what we try to find is opposite directions. What's going up? What's going down? So just by looking at this, when you get that royal buy wave alert, it's not that hard. Just going to your other chart, selecting the currency, and says, what direction is this going? And what? I must have been teaching my son this. I'm like, why does this look like this? I'm like, I like candles or wrinkles. Boom. What direction are we headed? If you want to use the waves, boom, green is up, red is down. So that lets you know GDP is stronger than AUD, which gives validity to this trade right here. Looking at the MACD, where are we? Above the MACD, below the MACD. Above the MACD, with the EMAs, shaded blue. Pay me what you owe. Easy money. That's how we go ahead and use those type of trades. For every alert that comes with our Discord, not only do we glance at it in this term of market, and we go ahead and confirm with the currency if it's heading that direction. If it's too late in the day, like, hey, I think this is a perfect example right here. This one occurred at 12:30, right? So let's go here. No. 12:30. But what happened here? No. 12:30. So look at it. From this point, yes, the direction still was heading down, but the end of the day for both of them. And what you have to deal with that in those instances, you have to deal with the spread. So you have to say, is it really worth taking this trade at this time of day? Even though the direction might continue onward, you really have a better opportunity. Most of these trades tend to work best in London as well as New York. But that's how we apply it across the board in regards to all of these trades that come in. Basically, choosing a chart of your choice and basically operating off of a time frame that you prefer. Like I said, like the 15, but you could go to any time frame if you want to mark up off the higher ones. Still the same thing, up right here, and EMAs will adjust accordingly depending upon which one you choose. What we tend to do now, once we get these type of alerts that you get streaming to you, we have a war room in which you'll be able to interact with other bricketeers as well as ourselves. There will be instances where we hop on live sessions. Can't guarantee you because we always go off of whenever the alerts go off. At least I do. So, but we're always in the chat rooms discussing these type of trades and potential opportunities to get bang for your buck. Without any further ado, any questions, Mr. Shinobi?
Oh man, that was perfect.
All right, then. So this is Brick Nation coming to you live, giving you a brief demonstration of all of our special tools to help you become a profitable trader and a bricketeer. You guys know what to do. Brick them up. I'll see you in the war room.